Unsettling may best describe the scene of an accident better left to the imagination. A BRT bus on attempt to maneuver quickly gets caught up in the track. The result, a ramming of the massive bus to a near half split. Gory as it is shocking, many stood in wonder, their minds troubled. Controlling the crowd became Herculean. Mobile phones at hand, many took shots and posted on social media, like this one. It depicts the escape from the bus by passengers. Injuries are of varying degrees, as some deaths were also recorded. Officials of the State Emergency Management Agency and other first responders fear with unanswered questions, saying the driver himself must have been in a trance of sorts. He has since been arrested by the authorities.
They should be careful and be patient. Once the train is coming, definitely the train must have been blowing the horn. They should have waited and let the train go before trying to beat the train, because sometimes you cannot perceive the speed of the train by mere looking at the train.
So that is the problem we are having with all these drivers, that will not listen or they will not like to obey the caution. They must have been stopped by the flag man that will tell them stop, you cannot go again, but they will like to prove stubborn, which is not supposed to be. A flag man is there stopping him, but he refused to stop. So most of those drivers need to be, I don't know, maybe they need to be taken to maybe psychiatric hospital to know what is happening to them.
The rescue and clearance at the scene was swift. A crane to forklift, and the injured attended to. Grief giving rise to despair as more looked on. Progress was fast, giving rise to a continuation of the journey, cut short to the surprise of the passengers on this train.
Naturally, because I don't like sitting at the front due to the noise of the train, so I like sitting at the back. It's the unusual horning, so we're like, why is it making this so much noise? So all of a sudden, you just hear that sound like you hit something. So before you know it, a rush came out. I saw a BRT hanging at the engine.
I can't really say, based on the fact that we are on this train, and at the end of the day we had collision, and when we come down we met the BRT damaged. So it was the BRT that came all the way from the normal line to this side.
Drivers who goes through proper training school and follows the road safety regulations should be able to maintain that 50-50 division. Besides, what I heard from people around was that they were beckoning on the driver to move fast or even leave the train track, but this wasn't the case and the accident happened.
4 are reported dead and many more are injured. The day after would see investigators swing into action. We walked along the rail track with them as they desperately tried to figure out what must have happened to wedge the bus on a somewhat smooth surface as seen here, with cars passing freely. chairman of the investigating team would say nothing to us. In contrast, however, the NEMA official means no words on what must be done, and quickly.
What we are going to do now is to be able to have a trained marshals per coach or per team. At least 5 of them should be on each train moving at any given time. Either there is fire disaster, there is this type of emergency, even if it is in a bush, they should be able to manage it before we get closer, before the lead agencies get to the place. So these are some of the clearing calls we are looking at.
One would have thought that with the development of the rail infrastructure in Nigeria by the Ministry of Transportation, all of that would have already been factored in when you talk about barricades that can block, for instance, this kind of crossover.
Yes, it's a continuous thing. The working has not been completed. It has not been completed, and it's a stage-by-stage thing. Though this is a sort of big gap that has been created, and this calls for immediate action to be placed there.
Looking in utter disbelief at the point of tragedy where some woke up to work, instead went to the great beyond. We also took a closer look at the track itself. We found nothing out of the ordinary. One thing, however, makes a statement: the constant crossing of persons on the rail tracks. Some even defecate with a high level of indiscipline that seeks to be addressed.
It's clear, and a team is already on the way to investigate this unfortunate accident which involved a train right on these very tracks and a BRT bus that conveys staff of the state government to their offices. But when the train finally stopped, the evidence was so clear. Down here are clothes, shoes, bags which they use to take their food to the office. We can all see their clothes, handkerchiefs, and even more. Credit cards were also seen here. But that's the lot to the people who were involved in this accident. Some have died, some seriously injured. But will the investigating team, right there behind me, will they come up with a solution once and for all? Gimba Umar, Control TV, News Mobile.